Hi everybody, it's Will NY4 and I'm back with a new series of videos on Outpost building in Starfield. And there are three reasons why I am doing this. Reason number one is that with the introduction of the Creations Club, there are a whole bunch of new mods that are available to Xbox players who couldn't use some of them because of the fact that they were only available for PC. So that means that there's a whole new set of opportunities for you guys. Number two, I want to do videos that are more step-by-step tutorials because I think that's what people are looking for, rather than the role-playing fictional game or characters that I created in my previous videos. And number three, I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm learning so much new stuff with webcams and OBS and Premiere Pro and now a green screen. I mean, who would have thought? Maybe OnlyFans is next for me. But any event, I want to keep doing it because it's a great challenge and I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys do too. And the fact that now 2,700 views of my videos, I mean, come on, guys. When you're my age, and you wouldn't know this, but you get 2 people a day who notice you, that you consider that you've actually made it for that day. It's fabulous. So, and finally, I want to thank my grandson Henry, who introduced me to video games when I was 70. That was 15 years ago. And here I am still playing, and so is he. And he's doing great videos, which I'll be linking below when they're released. But Henry, man, thank you. I really appreciate it. So in this series, I'm going to be focusing on the construction of Vytinium fuel rods. As you can see in this chart, looking at the bottom part of it, making them is quite complicated. You need a lot of components, and there are subcomponents, and many of the YouTubes that are out there show people creating a daisy chain to manufacture the different components in different locations and then shipping them all together here to Decoron. My factory, which is shown up at the top, just has one home base, which is here on Decoron, and all the other planets are feeding their materials in our cargo links here, and we assort and assemble, manufacture, and sell them right on the site. But this video will be a step-by-step on how you can do that entire process, and here's an aerial view of what this outpost looks like with all the cargo links. So in any event, I'm going to show you how you can do this without any of it. The only thing that you would have would be 2 small boxes, your extractors, and that's it. We're going to use a mod called Universal Stash, and in order to demonstrate that, I want to go to the basement of the lodge where we'll set the whole thing up. So stay tuned. Okay, here we are in the lodge. And to understand how SKK's Universal Stash works, let's start with this box here, which we are all familiar with if we've played the game for any period of time. You notice that the mass is 0. That is to say, it's unlimited, and you can put as much of any kind of stuff you want in here without a problem. Well, SKK Mods has taken that concept and that technology, if you will, and made it portable. So you can now take anything that you have stored in his stash container wherever you go. Well, we'll get into the details later, but let's get it set up. First step is to go to the workbench and scroll down until we see Universal Stash open container item, 1 iron. So we craft that. And exit out of here. We now have the menu. So to open the menu, we have to go into our inventory, and he's put it in the A category. Down here we have Universal Stash menu item. We want to enable it in the basement. You can also enable it in your bedroom upstairs. We'll ignore the other menu items for a moment. Let's enable it here in the basement, and then we're going to have to X out of the menu. And here is his representation of the Universal Stash for the Lodge. Now, you notice that presently there's nothing in it because I haven't put anything in it. This Lodge container and the ones that we'll build on our outposts are not dynamic. You cannot link any fabricators or any kind of storage device to it directly, but there's a way we can get materials in and out, which I'll show you, which is really cool. Okay, so now that we're set up, let's go back, and I'm going to take us to Decaron 7B, and we're going to start, and we're going to build an outpost around Universal Stash in a totally new location. Okay. Okay, we're here on Decaron 7B, and I put my beacon down on in an area where I have a lot of Vytinium, and I've built myself, I'll show you, there's Vytinium. I have built 8 of the industrial extractors. Now, I'm doing that because I have a lot of materials so that I have the resources to build them, and I want the maximum amount of production. It will just as easily work with the default or the commercials. It just means you'll get a little bit less out of it. But, you know, since I'm a greedy capitalist and I have the resources, man, I'm going with it. And the same goes for power. You know, you can use solar domes. Here, let's see, they give you a power of 10. So I'd need 16 of them to power this outpost. But, you know, I'm going down to this reactor from MTech. Unfortunately, not if this one isn't available on Xbox yet. But just as a shortcut, I'm doing this one as a power of 1,000. So I don't have to worry about power. The next step is, again, and I'm apologizing because I want this to be for Xbox guys, but you know, there are alternatives for you. But if I go down to miscellaneous again, and because of this mod B.A.S.E, building advanced space encampments, I can build a platform, and I'm actually going to build a small platform right here. Again, not necessary, just if you can do it, why not? Okay, here we have this little platform. Now we install Universal Stash, and this you can do, of course, on Xbox. Again, we go into build mode, and we stay in the miscellaneous category, and there we see big pictures, Outpost Universal Stash. And then the Outpost production collector, which we haven't discussed yet, which is the key to this whole system. So we'll build that, and let's go out of here for the moment and go over, and if I can find where I built it. Oh, there they are over there. Sorry, guys. You know, I'm doing this on the fly, so cut me a break here for a minute. So here's that Universal Stash, and there's nothing in there yet, so I can't do anything with it. But my Outpost production collector, that is something else again. That also was empty. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back up into my modify mode here, and I'm going to take these extractors and link them to that Outpost production collector. I'm going to pause until I have them done. Okay, I've gotten them all connected, and indeed Vytinium is starting to flow into this Outpost collector. And we'll now go on to our next site, which is Parima 2. So here we are on lush, beautiful Parima 2, quite a contrast to Decaron. I did stop at the Paradiso for a little R&R, so I should be pretty relaxed now. In any event, you see that I've done the same thing. I've built a platform. I put on it the Universal Stash container and the production collector container. It's collecting cesium. I've made all the links. You don't have to see them. So let's go on to the second Parima, which is 4D. So here we are in the purple sands of Parima 4B, where I am mining uranium and plutonium, and they are also all connected to the Outpost production collector, and you see its materials are coming in. And our last Parima stop is 5C. Here's Parima 5C, and I'm mining antimony, gold, and copper, and they are also, again, linked to the Outpost production collector. Universal Stash is here as well, and that's all there is to see here. Now we'll go on to Kodos, which is a little more exciting, where I am harvesting solvent. So I thought I'd start with an aerial view showing the extent of my solvent production machinery here. Solvent is required in a couple of the different processes, and I never want to run out, so I really outdid myself here. But if we go down to the ground level, you can see it's the same situation. Those greenhouses are connected to my Outpost production collector, and Universal Stash container is here as well. So that's solvent, and now the final stop is Katydid, where we are getting andesite and silver. So here we are on Katydid 3, this is one of my favorite places, although it's hard to get to it, hard to find this sometimes on the map. It is also difficult to get silver and andesite in the same location. You can see I had to put my silver extractors up there on the mountain, and the andesites are down here on the snowy plains, but we're able to do it. But the thing I really love about Katydid is take a look at this. An hour is 100 hours universal time. So if we do, let's say, 4 hours, and we'll just wait for a second, it has an unbelievable effect on the amount of inventory we get. Now you can see I'm in the 31,000, 52,000 range of materials. So it's extremely profitable to set up your system here. But okay, now you have seen, and again, let me remind you, here's all the places we went: Decaron, Parima, 5C2, 4D, Katydid 3, Kodos. No cargo links in sight so far. But so, how do we now consolidate this? We just focus in on this container, and I press Y on my Xbox controller. 6 containers consolidated to stash, and there is all the material in substantial quantities that we have mined and moved. So obviously this system is tried and true and works. The thing that's fantastic is that this Universal Stash is not now linked to any workbench of any type: industrial, weapons, armor, pharmaceuticals. It's also linked to any workbench on your cargo hold, and the materials in your cargo hold are linked and available through Universal Stash. So in order to make the fuel rods, let's go into the workbench. And as you can see, since I have no other materials, nothing can be fabricated or crafted except zero wire, and it looks like I could craft 52,000 zero wires with the materials that I have here. Well, I don't know that you want to see me craft 52,000, so I'm going to pause the video right now and start. Let's say I make around 10,000. So there's about 10,000, And now we would have to move up to see, I think we make semi-metal wafers are the next things we can make here. And so I'll make use up those supplies and make 10,000 of those. How about that? Okay. Now with 10,000 of those made, we can go up and we can use them all for nuclear fuel rods. But since we need them also for andesite wafers, I'm just going to build 5,000 roughly for each of the fuel rods and wafers. Okay, we're now ready to make the fuel rods, and you can see I can make 5,000 of them. So I'm going to start that process, and again, I'll be back when I'm finished. All right, we've made the Vytinium fuel rods. Now I think it's time to sell them. And I have this mod by Wicked Gaming called Darkstar Astrodynamics. There's also a Darkstar manufacturer, and these are terrific mods available for both PC and Xbox. And it comes with a Trade Authority terminal. So if I open it up, you see that it comes with 654,000 in credits. Now I want to sell those fuel rods. 5083. How much do I get for them? 660,790 credits. So I'm going to take them, and that's a nice big bump to my wallet. So that's not bad for a couple hours work. And if we go back to the Outpost production collector, and you can see there's already another group of consolidated containers bringing in substantial quantities of materials. Now, I should add for you guys that only wanted to use or could use the default extractors and didn't want to deal with the big reactor to power your outpost, imagine what will happen if you come up here and sleep for 24 hours. You'll easily make up any potential shortfall. So there's one other feature I want to talk to you about in relationship to Universal Stash. And let me go back into the menu again here in Aid. Open up this menu. And you see that it gives a lot of options we looked at before, but one is we can move back and forth between the lodge and wherever our home ship is just by pressing the button. So here we are in the lodge, and as you can see, our Universal Stash has come with all the material. I could just go over to the workbench over here and start to generate another whole set of Vytinium fuel rods. And of course, you know, there is no technical reason why you couldn't link all your outposts that are making all of the finished products using the same system, because again, it is unlimited storage and easy access wherever you are. So I think that's the end of this video. In my next video, I'm going to go back to the Decaron structure, and I'm going to reconstruct the conventional Vytinium fuel rods factory. That is to say, conventional in that it will use storage cargo links to connect with the different planets and moons that have the materials, and then we will bring them into one central location on Decaron, sort them, manufacture, and sell them. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If it's been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, leave your comments. I will have links to everything, all the mods and other references that I've made in this video in the description below. Okay, bye-bye.